Bulls Nation, a game against the Boston Celtics today, and we fell in, I would say, pretty convincing fashion once again. Lakers and Celtics, two very, very good teams, and the Chicago Bulls lost to both. Now, once again, this has to become a learning experience from the Chicago Bulls. We need to find a way to adapt our own game to try and match up with these teams that are going to be in the playoffs, that are going to be in competition for a championship. The Chicago Bulls need to find a way to compete with these teams. So without further ado, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls versus the Boston Celtics in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls versus Boston Celtics game reaction when the Chicago Bulls have lost now 2 in a row against 2 of the top teams in the NBA, the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers. The Boston Celtics did get Jason Tatum back for this game, had Jaylen Brown, they had their biggest stars. They still did not have as much players as the Bulls did. However, with this loss, we did lose to one of the best teams in the NBA, arguably, at this time. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. At the end of the day, we cannot make any excuses. We cannot say that the Boston Celtics are better. We can't say all these things. The fact of the matter is, a lot of the times when we lose our games, we lose by our own demise. It's our own fault for losing. So many unforced turnovers in today's game. So many missed opportunities, missed passes, missed dunks, open layups, a lot of things that happened throughout this game the Chicago Bulls could have easily prevented. But with that being said, there needs to be more in terms of how the Chicago Bulls come back from these games. And we always talk about the Chicago Bulls like to respond after a bad game. Well, today was not the perfect example of that. The scoreline for today's game was 119 to 103. In the end, the Chicago Bulls, we kept it close for the majority of the game, around 10 points. But at the end of the day, a team against the Boston Celtics, a good team in the NBA, you need to try and close the gap early and quickly. We came into that second half extremely cold. We came into the first quarter of this game extremely cold. And you just simply can't do that against good teams. You need to come out of the gates firing on all cylinders. You need to come out with energy. You need to come out efficiently. And we didn't do that. And that is what, in my opinion, cost us the game. You must come out from the second half and the first half of these games. Every quarter, you need to come out firing. You need to come out strong. That's how you beat teams like the Boston Celtics. It's how you beat teams like the LA Lakers. The Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum did return today. But at the end of the day, that could have come to our advantage as well. And we didn't let that happen. And in the end, it cost us in the end. It really did cost us. Now, once again, losing 2 in a row, it's difficult, obviously, but the Bulls must learn from this once again. The Bulls must take some positives out of this game and must look at the Boston Celtics, the way that they play, and try and add it to our game. Now, personally, in my opinion, I don't think Boston was that great today. I know they got 119 points. I know in terms of actually team ball movement, this is probably one of their better games compared to other games I've seen so far from them. But I don't think Boston were terrific today. I do think there was opportunities to get at them. And this is probably why the Chicago Bulls, this loss, for some people, might hurt more than others. But regardless of that, when you look at this box score, it does show everything. There's not much in terms of contribution from a lot of our better players, which is why the Bulls need to step up, which is why some of our starters need to step up. There needs to be more balance. There needs to be more in terms of productivity in some of our starters. Our bench today, I don't think, was too bad compared to the Lakers game. Again, it's not the greatest, but there's still a little bit more to talk about in terms of the bench than the starters. In my opinion, we rotate some of our starters to the bench, or they need to step up, and that's up to Billy Donovan to decide that. I understand that dropping the likes of Kobe White or maybe even Patrick Williams, I don't think Patrick Williams is droppable at the moment. I do think the fouls is what got Patrick Williams out of this game for majority. But players like Kobe White, could he potentially be a player that you just don't see starting in the next game? We need to find that balance. I don't know what's going to happen with this team. Obviously, it's too early to panic. Don't press the panic button just yet. I know we lost 2 games and we lost them in convincing fashion. But again, we lost to the Celtics and the Lakers. I don't think we should be putting the panic button by any stretch of the means. But again, we do need to look at these games and we need to learn from them. And we need to also find how our better players can be impactful in these games. And so far, we're not seeing that. And this is the benefit and the negative of having a young team. We will see progression out of these players. We will see growth, but there will be games where we see setbacks, or there will be games where we see lack of productivity, or they're not simply showing up. So that's where we need to find the balance. Again, it's a patience game. It's a balance game. We need to find the balance with Zach LaVine. We need to find the balance with Kobe White. We need to find the balance with Patrick Williams. And the more that we do that, the better we will become over time. I don't think this is a panic situation. I don't think people should be, too reactionary, because again, it's all about results, and with bad results come negative comments, comes drastic changes and things like that. I don't think it's that time just yet. We are still very close to the playoffs. Let's just see how this plays out. Let's see what we can do against our next few games and see where we can come up with some victories. Let's look at the box score. Obviously, Larry Markkinen, 18 points today, had 6 rebounds, 1 assist. At the end of the day, Larry Markkinen, it's a good game from him. He did make a few very good shots in today's game. That's all I could really say on the situation. He was 7 from 12. Not too bad at all from Larry Markkinen. I don't think he was at fault for this loss whatsoever. I do think we need to do a little bit better in trying to get him more shots, and I really would like to see him finish around the ring, something that he's been doing all season. He didn't really do that today. He always either missed a few shots. Undersized Robert Williams gave him problems. I think he needs to do a little bit better in that retrospect. Patrick Williams, 2 points. And that's about it, 2 points and 1 assist. With Patrick Williams, he barely played today, so I can't really give him anything. He didn't play out, or he got 2 fouls in the first quarter. That's all I can really remember him doing, to be honest. So, again, he definitely does need to step up from this game. This is definitely not his best game. And again, he's a rookie. He's going to be inconsistent. He's not going to have games where he's getting 30 points every single night. That's just not the player, and he's not being put in the position to do that at the moment with the Chicago Bulls. But again, rest assured, Patrick Williams will be back to his old self. That's the first thing I've come to notice with Patrick Williams. Whenever he does have a bad game, he tends to respond with a good game the game after. Hopefully that game against Portland, which we do have next, can be a sign of things to come. Kobe White, in my opinion, was the most disappointing in my opinion. He had 5 points and he only had 1 assist. He didn't get an assist for the entire first half. He had 2 turnovers. Kobe White, it's very disappointing. Look, again, he knows he has the hard work ethic. He will bounce back from this, but this is the point in the season where we need Kobe White to contribute. We need Larry Markkinen, Zach LaVine. We need Patrick Williams. We need all of our players to contribute. If your better players do not come out and have a good game, you will not win these games. It's as simple as that. This Boston team, I truly believe we could have beat them. And even now, if Kobe White played better, if Patrick Williams played more, I still think we could have had a better chance than what we did in winning this game. But again, Kobe White has to step up. You can't hide from that. You can't say that Kobe White was good today. It's just not true. He needs to step up, and it's up to Billy Donovan, it's up to Kobe White, it's up to all the players. We need to find a way to allow Kobe White to get his shots, to allow Kobe White to facilitate. It's going to be a patience game once again. We need to be patient with Kobe White, and we'll see where things go. I've seen a lot of people talking about putting Kobe White on the bench. You're only going to ruin his confidence even more if you do that. But again, that's understandable. If you want Kobe White to go to the bench, all the more power to you. I don't think it's time for that at the moment. Again, he's been struggling, but we need to find a way to put Kobe White in the best positions. And we'll wait and see. Zach LaVine had a very good night. 30 points. He only had 3 assists and 6 rebounds. Negative about Zach LaVine, once again, is the turnovers. 6 turnovers today. The Bulls, I believe, had over 18 turnovers today. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is simply unacceptable from a team that's aspiring to be in a position to succeed, in a position to win, in a position to make the playoffs. Zach LaVine is our star player, and he has 6 turnovers and only 3 assists. He's been trying to get playmate. His 30 points was very quiet, to be fair. He's been trying to get his teammates open. But once again, you need to see a little bit more out of Zach LaVine in the playmaking side. You can't have 6 turnovers. You can't have 6 turnovers as one player and the Bulls have over 18. You're responsible for 1/3 of those turnovers. You need to do better. That's the only thing I can say about Zach LaVine. Thaddeus Young, I actually thought Thaddeus Young was terrific today. 16 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. In my opinion, and I will talk about the player of the game because Zach LaVine, he might deserve it, but man, Thaddeus Young was beautiful. It was a beautiful performance today. One of the only players, in my opinion, that stepped up when all of the other players did not. Daniel Gafford, I didn't even talk about Daniel Gafford, had 0 points today. Only played 10 minutes. He got a block, but yeah, not good from Daniel Gafford. In the end, the rest of the box score, Otto Porter had 13 points and 5 rebounds, 3 assists. In the end, the box score from then on was okay. Let's talk about the must improve. The must improve player is Kobe White. I know Daniel Gafford got 0 points and 3 rebounds, but Daniel Gafford only played 10 minutes. Kobe White had his decent share of minutes and he only had 5 points, and for the longest time he didn't get an assist. So at the end of the day, the Chicago Bulls, we do have the dilemma on our hands. A lot of people are asking at this point in time for Kobe White to get benched. Now, whatever the case may be, whatever you guys think about Kobe White, I personally don't think he should get benched. I think we need to find that confidence in him. Whatever it is, if it's Billy Donovan giving him a chat, whether it's him himself trying to build his way out of it, we are not seeing the best out of Kobe White, and we're not seeing a confident Kobe White. A confident Kobe White will be a better Kobe White than what we're seeing. We need to find that confidence. We need to find his ability to make shots. And again, we saw this a little bit last season with Kobe White as well. He's going to be inconsistent. When we find that consistency with Kobe White, it will define him as a player. But today, he just wasn't there. He was not there, and in the end, it cost us. I really did think it's cost us. If Kobe White played better, we had a better shot of winning the game. It's as simple as that. We need to see more confidence out of Kobe White, and we need to see a little bit more balance out of Kobe White. And we wait and see how that goes. My player of the game, I am giving it to Thaddeus Young. After reconsidering between Zach LaVine and Thaddeus Young, Zach LaVine had 30 points. But at the end of the day, 6 turnovers, only 3 assists. I think that side of the game really cost Zach LaVine. 30 points is a terrific scoreline for Zach LaVine. It was a very quiet 30 points. It wasn't forced. It wasn't really put into a place where he was forcing up shots. But he must do better playmaking. And Thaddeus Young, I thought, stepped up in all areas today. This was a very good game from Thaddeus Young, and I think he deserves player of the game for the game that he had. He came off the bench. He didn't play. He played a lot more minutes because of how good he was playing. I think he deserves it today. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bulls' record is 7-10. We are still very, very close to the playoffs. All I can say is please do not get disheartened. I understand it's very hard not to after suffering a loss like this and the loss against the Lakers where we're down by 30. It's not going to be easy to be optimistic about this team. But once again, there are things to work on. We all know this. Just this team is growing, but that doesn't mean this team is perfect. That doesn't mean this team doesn't have a lot to work on. Once again, this is the adversity of the Chicago Bulls. Consistency. That's our adversity. That's how we need to overcome things. And once again, we have winnable games in our next few games. This is when we talk about, are the Chicago Bulls a playoff team or are the Chicago Bulls a team that are going to be in the middle just trying to survive? Because we have games against the Portland Trailblazers next. We have games against the Knicks. We have games against the Magic. These are the teams that are our level right now. These are the teams that are our competition. These are the teams that we need to beat. And we have to beat these teams. This is how we're going to make the playoffs, by beating the Knicks, who have been very good this season, to be fair. The Magic, who have been up and down this season, we need to beat them. Portland don't have CJ McCollum. We need to beat them. These are the games. The Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, that's a good team. That's a team that's expected to beat us. Teams like the Lakers with the LA Lakers, Los Angeles, LeBron, Anthony Davis, they have a very good bench as well, very good bench production. Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell. That's a team that's expected to beat us. Teams like the Portland Trailblazers with that CJ McCollum, I really think we have a chance at that game. A team like the New York Knicks, who have been good, but that's the team that I believe we have a chance to beat. The Orlando Magic. These are the teams. These are the teams we need to look at and we need to compete against. And hopefully the Chicago Bulls can do that. Our next game is against the Portland Trailblazers. This is a very important game. Again, we need to end this week 1-1. This is the weekly Chicago Bulls. We only have 2 games this week. I swear there was a game at Memphis that we were supposed to play and we didn't. So we need to compete against the Portland Trailblazers. We need to win. We need to at least be in the running to win. We can't let teams get to 20 points within the fourth quarter. We have to fight our way back. We need to be the team that sets the tempo. We need to be the team that sets the lead. We need to be the team to have other teams try and respond to that, because that's when we'll be in the best positions to win. Once again, a learning experience against the Boston Celtics. We must learn to overcome things like this, to overcome our obstacles. And let's see what we could do against Portland. I'm really looking forward to that game. Hopefully the Bulls come out ready to go. We need to come out ready to go. We need to be desperate for that win against Portland and the next games coming up in that week. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video despite the loss. Once again, it's tough. It's not easy. I don't want to be discouraged, and I encourage everyone not to be discouraged. But again, if you are, let me know in the comments below what you think about the Bulls at this point in time. Let me know what you think about this game. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.